going, guys? Dr. Jonathan here with my good friend Melody, and we're gonna show you a few yoga poses to help with your back. All right, so which ones do you want to show us first?
Yeah, so we're going to start on the ground, which I think is always a really good place to start, especially if it's early in the morning, which is a really good time to do yoga. You haven't quite got your mobility yet, so we're going to start basic and see how we go from there.
Alrighty.
See you on the floor.
Show us what we're going to do.
All right, so we're going to get down. However, it's easiest for people to get onto the floor, and we're going to go into a hands and knees posture. What's really important to me is that your wrist creases are parallel to the front edge of your mat. Let's just say you have a yoga mat or something that's not going to be slippery, and you want to make sure that your hips and your shoulders are a nice distance away from each other. So your knees are going to be directly underneath your hips and your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, and you have a nice neutral neck. You're not overlifting the chin or dropping in the chin.
And this is super, super important, guys, to have the knees right under the hips, because if you're going too far forward or too far back, we're going to put unnecessary pressure here on the lumbar spine. And then the same thing with the shoulders, right? Yeah, you're going to be arching too much. Exactly. So proper position is a must for this, but this is a very easy, basic starting point.
Yeah. So we're going to move into what I call cat-cow. The tummy is going to stay integrated the entire time, so we're not going to see any of this belly dropping out that's going to put a lot of pressure through the back. So you're going to make sure you tone that up, and you're going to inhale. And when you inhale, you're going to lengthen your tailbone back and up, and you're going to let your chest lift without overlifting the chin. That's a nice full breath in. When you exhale, you're going to press the hands and the knees down into the ground, draw the tailbone way down, let the head release, and lift the spine way up to the sky.
Perfect. And what are you feeling when you do this pose or this sequence? Yeah,
so what I'm doing is on the inhale, I'm really opening the front side of the body and I'm contracting the back muscles, but I'm not dropping through the shoulder blades like that.
And that's very, very important, because one of the problems we have with people's posture is that they're very weak here, right? And then they're very compressed and tight in the chest and the front shoulders area. So this is super, super important to get that area to stretch and this back area to actually strengthen. So while you're engaging your core, you're not going to hurt your lumbar spine. So this is a really, really good pose and a little sequence to help with those core muscles and with a lot of the problems that people face on a daily basis.
Yeah, and you really want to make sure that you move back and forth here a couple times and you don't rush it. So you don't rush your inhale and exhale. So it's not like this.
Right,
so
always
nice
slow
and long
and controlled.
Inhale and a really controlled, contracted exhale. That abdomen is pulling way up against the back body. And then you would just come back to neutral.
And notice how the hips are still always above the knees. We're not moving back and forth here.
And we're not overlocking the elbows and dropping in the shoulders.
We don't want to put too much pressure on those elbows or shoulders either. We should actually be using contractions in the arms and in the chest and in the back, contracting the core. That way we take off the stress off the joints, and we actually just get mobility in the joints when all the stress is on the muscles. It's kind of like when we say to people, bend your knees when you're lifting something. The idea behind that is to put all the stress on the muscles and not to put the stress on your knees or on your lower back. So the same idea here, use your muscles and engage those to allow the joints to have free range of motion, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a great first step and a first sequence to do, helping the lower back and just basically the whole body to open up kind of.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us on Facebook at Windsor Chiropractor, Dr. Jonathan Bekic, and on Instagram and YouTube at Dr. Jonathan Bekic for more great videos. I look forward to hearing from you guys.